Good morning, everyone. Match 6 of the 1995 Cricket World Cup was played in Lahore today. It was a group match between the United Arab Emirates and the West Indies. West Indies looking to continue their perfect record, having won the opening match in every single World Cup to date. The UAE looking for what would be one of the greatest upsets in cricket in history, if not the greatest upset in cricket in history. The pitch was hard with a foul start field and bouncy, and there was a dramatic thing before the game. Richie Richardson woke up with the vomiting bug today, the norovirus, I think it's called, so he wasn't fit, so Courtney Walsh stood in for him as acting captain, and Phil Simmons took Richie Richardson's place at the top of the order. So that was a dramatic start and a very bad start for the West Indies, but West Indies obviously like bowling on these fast bouncy pitches, especially before fast bowlers, and they elected to bowl first on this hard bouncy pitch here in Lahore as they look to get off to a good start in this match. But what transpired for the next 4.5 hours was beyond incredible and beyond absolutely stunning. I mean, this is the final outcome, and no, you are not dreaming here. That is an unbelievable performance from the United Arab Emirates and a shocking performance from the West Indies. It's the biggest ever upset in cricket in history. It is, without a shadow of doubt, to be bowled out for 133 in 45.5 overs and then to dismiss the 2 times winners for 93 runs. It is the third lowest score ever defended in one-day international history, and it is the lowest score ever defended in a World Cup. Absolutely incredible, and absolutely incredible is the man of the match as well, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the UAE, 133 all out in 45.4 overs. It seemed business as usual. As I said, made 11, 23 for Ganesh Van Maitavalan, 14 from Azhar Hussain, Vijay Mehra made 2, Mohammad Aslam made 9. There was 4 for Johan Samrasekera. Sultan Sarani went for a duck, and 1 for Imataz Abbasi, and at 72 for 8, the UAE looked like they were going to get bowled out for under 100 quite comfortably. Then was a 61-run wicket. There was a 61-run partnership from a 9th wicket. In the end, what turned out to be a winning partnership. 35 for Shaukat Dukanwala of 66 deliveries. 30 for Ashad Laika of 85 deliveries. There were some poor shots towards the end. I mean, Dukanwala gave his wicket away, and then Ashad Laika tried to go for a 6 and was caught on the boundary. And all out for 133. West Indies a little bit frustrated, but they still got them out in 45.4 overs, and you still felt West Indies are going to chase these runs down ridiculously comfortably, to be honest with you. In the end, Courtney Walsh 1 for 29, 0 for 27 for Keith Arthurton, 17 for 0 for Cameron Caffrey, was wicketless, 0 for 1 for Adams, 0 for 1 for Jimmy Adams. He came on and had a bowl, obviously, towards the end. Ambrose was quite neat, 1 for 28, but brilliant bowling figures. 10 overs, 3 for 21 for Ian Bishop, and 3 for 11 for Roger Harper, who looked absolutely unplayable today. He bowled 8 overs. So the most incredible thing was Bishop took 3 for 21, and yet Roger Harper had better bowling figures than him. But look at the response from the West Indies. This is the darkest day in their cricketing history. We all knew that they'd been struggling, but never would I think that I would see the West Indies bowled out. Yes, bowled out for 93 runs in 35.4 overs of the most ridiculous, awful batting, and some wonderful, wonderful, wonderful bowling from the UAE. They bowled our hearts out. Sherman Campbell made 4. Simmons' 5 came off 20 deliveries. Lara hit 8 off 17 deliveries and was caught behind the wicket by the wicket-keeper, Imataz Abbasi. 19 for Shivnarine Chanderpaul. Arthurton run himself out for a duck while trying to go for a third run. Absolutely ridiculous running. Jimmy Adams 8. 17 for Roger Harper. Ian Bishop 7. Curtly Ambrose running himself out on 3 as the desperation sunk in. A duck for Courtney Walsh and 4 not out for Cameron Cuffey. That is... I look at that scorecard. That's the most sensational scorecard I've ever seen in my life. And just to put it into context, Bishop won man of the match for his 3 for 21. But look at this. Salim Raja, 3 for 17. 3 for 15 for Shaukat Dukanwala. They bowled absolutely terrifically. He bowled 10 overs, 3 for 15 off his 10 overs. And he also hit... Shaukat Dukanwala also hit 35 not out, 35 not out off 60 deliveries, and yet Ian Bishop's one man of the match. 1 for 16 in that Ian Bishop was one man of the match, as we'll state in a moment. 1 for 16 for Johan Sunrasekera. Ashad Like came in and bowled a few medium pacers, 7.1 overs, and he got the winning wicket, and he got 1 for 19, and as I say, he'd bowled 3 overs, I think, and went for 15 runs, ready to be expensive. So the final summary of this unbelievably incredible match between the United Arab Emirates and West Indies here in Lahore. West Indies won the toss on a hard bouncy pitch, elected a bowl. Richie Richardson out due to a vomiting bug in the West Indies camp, so Courtney Walsh was acting captain. UAE was 72 for 8, looked like they were going to get bowled out for 100. A 61-run partnership between Shaukat Dukanwala and Ashad Like got them to 133 in 45.4 overs. We've all felt that was going to be too much for West Indies to... We all thought that was going to be not enough. But the West Indies were absolutely diabolical in what has to be one of their worst batting displays ever in the one-day arena, and possibly the worst batting display ever. The West Indies all out for 93 in 35.4 overs, and the United Arab Emirates winning by 40 runs, their 3rd victory in World Cups and their first ever win against the Test Playing Nation. This is the biggest upset ever in World Cup history, considering that the West Indies just had to chase 134 and they've been bowled out for 43. And they've been bowled out, for 93 to lose by 40 runs. But that man of the match award, Ian Bishop was laughing, and he actually didn't speak as he claimed his man of the match award. He said he just walked away and laughed. I don't know whether he was laughing because it was embarrassing. I think that is one of the worst. How is he one man of the match? 3 for 21. Let's have a look at the statistics again. I mean, Bishop, 10 overs, 3 for 21. Okay, but 3 for 11 off 8 overs for Roger Harper. But Shaukat Dukanwala, 35 off 65 deliveries. And also, better bowling figures as well. 3 for 15 off 10 overs. And yet, Bishop has one man of the match. And Ian Bishop went up. He didn't even speak to him, Imran Khan. He went up and collected the award and just walked away. Laughed. I think that is one of the most unbelievably bad decisions that the independent adjudicators have ever produced. In my opinion, Shaukat Dukanwala is man of the match, and Ian Bishop, how he's one man of the match is beyond me. But West Indies getting off the World Cup to an absolute dreadful start, that is the biggest shock ever in cricketing history, because of the fact that West Indies chased 134. Teams always chase 134. West Indies have been world champions twice. This is how far they've fallen. What an upset. And that will resonate back in the Caribbean for a long time. They're now in really big trouble. They've got Sri Lanka in their next match. But my word, that is shocking. Group 2. They're bottom of the table. What a surprise. UAE 3rd. UAE could have a great chance of qualifying for the quarterfinals now for the first time in their history. Zimbabwe obviously didn't get off to a good start against New Zealand, but that was absolutely shocking from the West Indies. Tomorrow's match, England versus South Africa. England looking to build on their good performance against Australia and try and beat the team in which they played 4 years ago in an absolute thrilling match in Australia. South Africa looking to build on their absolute brilliant victory against Pakistan in their last match and looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 in this World Cup. But let's have a look at the West Indian star players, and then I'm just going to talk about that man of the match award. That man of the match award is shocking from the independent adjudicators for the match. To give Bishop the man of the match award after Dukanwala's performance is just absolutely ridiculous. But let's have a look at the 2 star bowlers, 2 star players for West Indies. Ambrose bowled pretty tightly. But Lava's not gone off to a good start to his World Cup. He scored 8 of 16 deliveries and then was caught behind the wicket whilst trying to whack another 4. Dreadful start to his World Cup. Dreadful start to West Indies. Ambrose run out for 3 and averaging 28 with a ball. Bowled very tidily, but obviously didn't get another wicket. But yeah, that is the biggest shock ever in World Cup history and in cricket in history. The 2 times world champions, they had a history of winning every single match in World Cup cricket previously. Every single opening match in World Cup cricket previously, that's gone. I mean, the fact that Richie Richardson was out due to sickness was a big blow for them. But to dismiss the United Arab Emirates for 133 and then to get bowled out for 93 is absolutely shocking. And can I just say, on behalf of Shaukat Dukanwala, who was absolutely magnificent, 3 for 15, let's just double check, 3 for 15 off 10 overs and 35 of 60 deliveries, and yet Ian Bishop won man of the match for 3 for 21 when his figures were 6 runs more expensive. That is an appalling decision by the adjudicators, and to say that I am absolutely stunned by that decision, considering that West Indies lost that match and have been humiliated, and it is the biggest humiliation that any cricket side could have ever had. It is. There's been shocks in World Cups before, but this is up there with them. This is appalling. This is the 2 times world champions, a team that dominated the 70s and the 80s, and this is how far they've fallen. They've got Sri Lanka in 3 days' time, so it doesn't get any easier for them. Richie Richardson probably will be back for that, or hopefully he'll be back for that, because I think they missed his captaincy today. That was utterly appalling. Courtney Walsh was lost for words. Courtney Walsh was absolutely stunned at the press conference. But what a result for United Arab Emirates. The best result in their history. And the way Zimbabwe played and batted against New Zealand a couple of days ago, who's to say that the United Emirates won't beat Zimbabwe when they play them and potentially reach their first ever World Cup quarter-final? West Indies are in massive trouble. I know they've only played 1 match, but they are in massive trouble because you can't bowl a team out for 133 and then get bowled out for less than that. That is... I'm stunned. That is... There's things that leave me speechless. That is incredible. And that decision to award Bishop man of the match was the worst decision I have ever witnessed. Absolutely unbelievable. Tomorrow's match, England versus South Africa. I mean, it's all going to be about today's match now. I mean, that match pairs into insignificance of what's happened today. I mean, that is just shocking beyond belief. The biggest upset ever in the competition's 20-year history. England looking to improve on a decent performance against Australia. South Africa looking to build on their magnificent victory against Pakistan and looking for their second victory. But for me, this is almost how important of the 1995 Cricket World Cup being played here in Pakistan. Well, West Indies have been humiliated, and humiliation is a word, by the United Arab Emirates being bowled out for 93 whilst chasing just 134. United Arab Emirates, congratulations to Sultan Sarani and the United Arab Emirates team. Their first ever win against Test playing opposition, and it's against the 2 times world champions. The greatest moment in their history and the biggest upset ever in the history of the sport. Until then, till tomorrow's match, is me, Lawrence Howard, reporting here from an absolute stunned Lahore here in Pakistan from the Cricket World Cup being played on Brian Lara Cricket on PlayStation. It's goodbye from me.